But we aren't here for that. We are here to talk about the scammers. Now, today we're going to talk about D'Angelo, Jennifer, or Jennifer is what she says her name is. Obviously, TNA, Timothy Nash. We have to do a correction on that. Miss Maggie, Carrie, J. Paul's return. A couple of things I have to say about Beth, and then Asia. So, I want to put this out there. This Saturday is Digital After Dark. 8 p.m. Put it on your calendar, set an alarm, whatever you would like. It is going to be a live about Beth and Maggie. 50-50. What I'm doing differently this time is I want to hear from you. I'm not going to talk for 2 hours. I want to hear from you the things you've seen, observed, the things that upset you the most. If you have history on them, whatever. It is going to be a live of open box, which is why I'm talking about them today. So Saturday will be your time to shine. If you know anybody that has history on them, I know quite a few people have watched Beth for a very long time. And so they know a number of details that I don't know. But one of the things that was pointed out to me in my sub live, Sherry came up and let us know that she claims that part of her disability was being pew-pewed in the head while she was in her fictitious military career. And now that her husband cut almost all her head off, all the way around her head, and she showed it, there is no such scar to be found. And I saw a video of that and reposted it. No scar to be found. So now what do we have to say? And I think some of that exposure has created the new Beth we got introduced to the other day. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So please, I don't want to sit in silence on Saturday. So I'm going to need everybody to come through and share your thoughts. What I will say is that I'm going to be extremely mindful of who does come in the box, or who's allowed to stay in the box, rather. Yep, she returned. But I like, it's one thing for me to sit here and say it all and everybody gets to walk away. It's something else when we come together as a collective and talk about what we know. Because some of us know a little bit about a lot. Some of us know a lot about a little bit. But, wait. What? I didn't get to finish watching Tim and Angela because Mr. wanted to go live, and as we all know, I'm his mod, so I gotta be there. It's a second full-time job. I did it to myself, but it is a second full-time job. Because who's doing all of the graphics? Me! But anyway, I love him. I'm gonna do it for him regardless. So I didn't get to finish. So I'm going to need a little bit of help on what happened after I stopped watching. But I'm sure they got the money. So back to this is why I can't read the comments, because I get distracted very quickly. So please, I don't care how minute or how minuscule you may think the information is. I don't care if you have 10 things to say or one thing to say. Please come up. And if it's your first time, I promise I'm gentle. Or else we're going to be sitting there listening to music for 2 hours. Because I'm not going to talk for the whole 2 hours. Especially if I go live Friday night. By Saturday night, I will be exhausted. So, By the way, Chill, are you in here? I have seen that Mika the goat has returned. She got bananaed until today, I believe. So I will be on the lookout, and you guys too. Her name is Mika D A Mika the Goat. And she has two accounts. Mika the Goat is one, and Mika the Goat 1 is the second one. Let me see. I think I pulled down a photo. A few photos, actually. That's her main. And Mika the Goat 1, I believe, has 50,000 followers. Well, now she's come out as a music artist, whatever the case may be. But she managed through all of it to have a whole nother baby. The baby is absolutely beautiful, though. I will give her that. But yeah. So, Chill, thank you. And we'll be on it. So, let's go back. So, we're going to talk about D'Angelo, better known as Detroit Nike, Jennifer, TNA, Timothy Nash, Maggie, Carrie, Jordan Paul, Beth, and Asia. Okay, I want to start with Timothy. No, I'm going to wait. I'm sorry. I'm going to wait until the majority of people are in here because I want everybody to hear the correction. Okay, so all of these make you sick, Audrey? Listen. Mr. wonders how I can watch them as long as I do. He can only watch it for a minute. And then he's already like, turn it off. Okay, so we had the return of Jordan last night. Yes, thank you, Erica. You always remind me, girl. Thank you. Every time I change a photo, please like the live until you see the heart. Continue to like until you see the tail. Fill the heart's tail. And then take a break. It's 85 clicks. If you are a member of the team, please hit the daily heart me. We appreciate it. And wait, hit the daily heart me. Blah, blah, blah. And gifts are appreciated but not expected. I do this whether I get one gift or 10. So you do not have to worry about gifting me. All right? I want you to stay focused. So, for anybody who may not know why or the history of J. Paul, she has been a beggar on TikTok for multiple years. And she always has a reason. A reason for empathy, sympathy, etc. She lied for what? A year about having a security job. Now, we believe she actually had the job, but for whatever reason, I'll keep to myself what I think it was, but for whatever reason, she was terminated. And instead of telling the truth, she kept lying. And so she used having to go to work as her excuse for needing to beg for gas. She needed food for the dogs. She needed food for herself. She claimed that she was taking her landlord, or her landlord was being prosecuted for having her jumped in her apartment, when in fact she was going to court for an eviction because she stopped paying the rent. Hold on. Oh, yes. And her stalker, who we've met in here multiple times. Good morning, BB. Did you mean to come up? Maybe not. BB? Okay. Yeah, she probably hit the button. I'm really bad at hitting the button too. So, but thank you for the gift for her, you guys. That was funny. She got a gift. She didn't even say a word. You gotta love this community. Anyway, she then has been evicted multiple times. She moved in with this fake sister. They got evicted. She claims she was paying the bills, but they weren't paying their part. So they were being evicted. She has now moved in with a friend. Now, I will admit, I was wrong about which friend it is. It's a younger black gentleman that she showed. Jordan lies so much, though, you never know. Anyway, right before she left the house that she was in with her quote unquote sister, she started to float the idea that she had gotten a job working for as a customer service representative for a company where she could work from home. And they would give her all the equipment necessary. She probably only has to maintain a very strong internet connection. She might even have to plug in. They might not even let her use it as Wi Fi. Um, and that it was more pay, but she was starting part time because she was going to keep her security job. And if this place had steady hours, she would quit the security job overnight and just do this customer service job. Well, she clearly found herself in a comfortable situation because she didn't come live for a minute. And now, as of last night, when I saw her, she says she has started the job. She loves it. She loves her coworker. She says they really care. Let's see how long this lasts, that they really care. I have a very strong suspicion that that's not going to last very long. Good morning.
Good morning. So Jordan Pole's been at this for, I want to say, I know of at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, first time ever seeing her, I just actually got diagnosed with skin cancer,
I'm sorry.
and I was laying in my bed at my aunt's house in recovery, and I'd felt bad because of the lies she was telling. So I sent like my last $40.
Mm,
So I sent like my last $40.
mm,
And because of course she was supposedly about to be evicted.
mm-hmm.
I sent her my last like 30 to $40. So about a week later, she's sending me a request on Cash App.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, you gotta be joking me. And I messaged her and I told her, I was like, I can't send you any more money. I'm on a fixed income. I can't send you any more money. I'm on a fixed income.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she left it at that, and it went from needing money for rent to dog food to some Gatorades to gas money, and it was ridiculous. So then, therefore, I just blocked her cash out and I reported it.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Thank you
turned
for doing
around
so.
and I've been watching beggars of TikTok. Well, her name's Top Four Ways,
Uh-huh.
and she's exposed a lot on her. And the last house she was living in was actually her so-called sister's mother's home.
Yeah.
So therefore, she wasn't paying rent there. She wasn't working there. Then she claimed the girl ran off and left her animals there. That
Yep.
was all a tale, you know. And she's just been full of stories the past 3 years. So
Yep. Always has a story.
yeah.
Always
Always has
has
a
some shit.
story, always has an excuse, and it's just got ridiculous.
It
I've
has.
I've actually got her blocked, but I watch her on Top Four Ways and discuss her on there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Try to bring awareness to people, you know.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing that. I'm so sorry that, your kindness was taken advantage of. And you are the kind of person I'm trying to reach. People who know everything and still want to send their money, still want to be a mod, have at it. I'm not talking to you. I'm
Yeah,
talking to the people who feel bad, think that they're helping somebody just to find out that it's a scam and they're going to come right back the very next day and ask for the exact same money. And then on top of that, harass people in the background to ask for more because they don't want to come back on TikTok and ask.
exactly. And yes, she's on drugs, y'all. She is on drugs.
You have to
She's
say rugs, honey. You have to say rugs.
Rugs, sorry, baby.
That's okay.
She is on rugs. That's why she sits in her car at a gas station most of the nights because she is on rugs. And she's lost a good bit of weight. You can look back on her profile and see her face change.
Oh yeah. She
Yeah,
and sometimes she looks ghostly. That's where this picture came from. She was sitting in her car begging and there was literally no color in her face.
yes, yes. I mean, I've seen her pupils be the size of a pinpoint
Yep.
and then big as her eye color.
Yep. And she'll
And
say, I don't do rugs because I have a heart condition. People who have all kinds of things are still on rugs. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, nose candy. Yes, yes, that's correct, Greg. um, or either medication. I'm trying to
Right.
word it properly.
I
Medication or
appreciate it.
nose stuff. But yeah,
Nose candy. Well, thank
yes.
you for coming up and sharing your story. I really do appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome, and I followed you, and also Nike. I've heard he has somewhere to live. It's just he goes out and begs and bums during the
Yes,
day,
that's true.
and that's ridiculous.
It is, but he's gotten accustomed to it and they love to give it to him, so it's whatever.
Yeah, I know. So if they don't want to listen, we can't help them.
That's right.
All right, you have a good morning.
Thank you. You
All right,
too.
bye bye.
Bye bye. So Jordan starts off her live yesterday screaming about how can she be a scammer. Now, you guys know I promote it often. I'd appreciate it if you guys promoted it. It's the scammer. Goodness, how am I going to forget my own thing? It's the spectrum of scamming. Because just because you say you need $90 for gas and food and dog food, and you go and buy those things or show proof that you did those things, does not eliminate you from being a scammer. When you lie and tell people that you have a job and you don't, that's a lie. That's theft by deception. When you tell everybody that you feed your dogs very expensive dog food just for us to see a bag of gravy train, that's a scam. Now, did you go buy dog food? Yeah. But did you buy the dog food that you were supposed to buy? No. Right. She got money for a U-Haul, what, two or three times to move? So while you may do what you said you were going to do of some ilk, it's never as straightforward. And when we asked her to show, because she said, I just fed the dogs and like the last of the bag. And she was asked, "Can you show us the bag?" And she's like, "I'm not digging in the garbage." Well, if you just did it, why would you have to dig? It should be at the top. Show us anything that indicates that you're buying that expensive brand of dog food, and I'll let it go, because the dog food she names is as expensive as she says, but she has never shown proof that that is what she's feeding her dogs. When she flipped the camera around one time and was showing the animal food between the cat and the dogs, the only dog food I saw was Gravy Train. Dogs. The only dog food I saw was Gravy Train. Good morning. And when she got called out for it, oh, that's what her sister feeds her dogs. So then where's the bag for your dogs? She keeps talking about this stalker. She calls anybody who says anything in her chat that's not kissing her ass the stalker. She claims she has a RO on the stalker. She pulls up a piece of paper, but none of us can ever read it. Correct, the perfect mom. Agreed. Right. And I'm going to talk about this with several other scammers. But if you know you need gas money to get to work and money for food, and you got to be there between 11 and 12, why are you coming on live at 9:30, 10 o'clock to get it? Make that make sense. So, anyway, that's just a little history on her. She came on and she's screaming about, how can I be a scammer? I show proof. And I said, you're a manipulative beggar, and that you are on the spectrum of scamming for sure. So she told us how she started her work from home job, that everyone she works with is really cool. They really care. So far, so good. And then she says, and this is really going to make the haters mad. It doesn't make us mad. Truthfully, we don't care about what you say. What we want you to do is to stop begging. So she's like, I know this is gonna make the trolls mad, but I was wondering if anybody can help out with like $50. That's the whole point of you coming on live. She claims she comes on live sometimes and doesn't ask when. Find me a live where she didn't ask for money. Now, it doesn't count that she went live, ended it, came back 5 minutes later and begged. No, no, no. I want a day that you came live, or several days that you've come live and never asked for a dime. Just talking. She uses her grandmother's condition, her condition. She has a whole father that works constantly, but he can never be of any assistance whatsoever. I don't believe that. Or he's cut her off and said, you're grown, you have a job, or you have the ability to get a job. I'm not funding your lifestyle anymore. Because when are you going to grow up? So now apparently we have this work from home job, and of course she's getting paid in a couple of days. How'd you pay your car payment? And so when I see her and Lisa and Timothy fall off the radar, they're getting money on the back end. You can't tell me that they're not. Because how she pay for her car? Mind you, she told us she needs to ask for help because she has bills. What don't we understand about that? What part of the people you're getting money from also have bills? So why should you be taken care of by them going to work every day? Like like she literally says stuff like that out of her mouth. And I'm like, Do you not hear the hypocrisy coming out the sides of your lips? You got bills to pay? Again, it's never an independently wealthy person giving them 20, 30, 40, $100. It's always people scraping by themselves. And because they know the feeling of needing something and not being able to give it, they'll be like, well, three of us could get together and each of us send you $20. And then I feel privileged because I didn't have to give her the whole 60 when all you are doing is perpetuating her need to be taken care of, and it proves to her that that it can continue to happen. So no, you don't make us mad, you make yourself look ridiculous. So she gets paid in a couple of days, of course, and she needs dog food, and she needs something small to eat. Again, why it's always something small to eat? Are you turning into Lisa where eating is code word for something else? Cause you know what I say. Lisa don't even ask for cigarettes no more. It used to be food and smokes. Now it's just food. Because she realizes we already know that it's code word. Why bother? Why bother? She said she wanted a small bag of food for the dogs. $50 is a small bag? I don't believe you. Then she says she doesn't give, excuse me, she says she doesn't give a fuck about what we think. And I wrote down, and we don't give a fuck what you think. Hey, Ladybug. She says we have a miserable life. Girl, if I had to get on TikTok every couple of days and beg for money, oh, who was that? Thank you. I appreciate it. It's funny, Ladybug, because the your picture didn't come up the first time. So we have a miserable life. We have a miserable life. Girl, if my life is miserable, I'll take mine every time over yours needing to come on TikTok and beg every couple of days. I'll pick my miserable life. And girl, you do not, good morning for everybody coming in. You don't have the energy to do what we do. You don't have the commitment to do what we do. You don't have the work ethic to do what we do. Well, remember the proverb, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you fed him for a lifetime. Why do people think that by giving them money over and over and over again, something is going to change? Can somebody explain that to me? Because it doesn't make sense. You're upset about what we're doing, but you can beg. If you can beg on a public platform that I can see, even if you go private, it's still a public platform, then I have the equal right to talk about it, to add my commentary, and offer an open box for people who have thoughts about what you do. Why are you mad? Are you mad because we're slowing your money down? Grow up, Jordan. And whenever you see somebody do a live that is the majority of what they're discussing is us and begging, they don't have anything else. They have nothing else whatsoever. Now, I want to do a little interlude here. Shout out to Mexican homie, but he introduced me to this lovely Faith. And I went in her live last night because he was in the box and they were lying. If you guys recall, I did a little education a few weeks ago about the difference between SSI and SSDI. Let me make it clear. You do not get SSDI because you saw a judge. That's not the determining factor. SSDI is when you have worked the adequate number of work credits so that the money you receive is based on your income for the last 10 years or the last 10 years of your work history, which is why it can vary all over the place. SSI is for people who were born with a condition, who have no work history. So it is a baseline, and that's why everyone on SSI, I shouldn't say everyone, but people who get SSI, the number is similar. When you're on SSDI, there is a maximum, but it can be anywhere from the maximum down. SSI is a fixed number that gets adjusted depending on where you live and everybody please stay focused. Please stay focused. And depending on where you live and any circumstances that the judge finds, you may get a little more, you may get a little less. But it has nothing to do with the fact that you saw a judge. And so if you speak to somebody, an official, and you're speaking about SSD, they're going to give you the information about SSD. If you ask about SSI, they're going to give you the information about SSI. Please don't convolute the two and then tell people that you know what you're talking about. Correct. But it is required that you work so many hours to have the adequate work credits to receive SSDI. You can be disabled like she is and still be on SSI. That's why babies can receive SSI. They haven't worked a day in their life, but it is based on the disability that they have, which has a standard number. And I believe this year, the standard number is like 967 or 987. Don't quote me on the exact number. I don't remember, but it is less than $1,000. That's for A. For B, if you told people you were moving and they sent you money for moving, you know whether you have the capacity to move or not when you asked for it. You don't get to come back later and say, well, I did it was hard for me. I can't walk, I can't drive, I can't whatever. You knew that when you asked for the money. So how can you say later, well, I realized I couldn't move and so I used it for something. I realized I couldn't move and so I used it for something else. You, while it was a gift to you, it was a gift based on certain circumstances. If you wanted to change that circumstance, you should have gone back to the people who gifted you under one premise and say, hey, listen, moving didn't work out. Can I use your gift for something else? Now, can you sit here and say, well, you sent the gift and I can use it for what I want to use it for? Of course, you're not going to go to jail for that. But that speaks to the flaw in your character. And there are some people, unfortunately, who were born with a disability of one kind or another, and they get used to using that as the excuse for everything. And while I won't rip you apart based on your disability, I don't have a need to do that. Having a disability doesn't excuse lying, bad behavior, taking advantage of people's kindness. That has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. And for the vile, disgusting Eric, she allows in her chat to threaten people, to be rude, to be nasty. And that's okay. But somebody asking you questions about your behavior is wrong. Again, that speaks to your character. So just because you're getting defended means that people can say and do whatever on your platform. Mind you, I asked to come up, and all I wanted to do was clarify SSI versus SSDI. I kept getting rejected. Mind you, I've never spoken of this woman. I've never watched her for any length of time, but I couldn't get a box. And for people who are like, why is it your business? It's our business because she is taking advantage of her fellow man. So it can't be our business when she takes advantage of other people. And then my question is this: why are you in our business? If you don't feel like we should be in her business, why are you in ours? Again, pick a lane. Either what people do on TikTok is everybody's business or it's nobody's business, whether you're on our side of the aisle or on the scammer side of the aisle. And then to find out she got $90,000 from another app. She didn't want to discuss that though. We're discussing TikTok. But again, it all speaks to your character. And then for Eric to say you can't move for 2,500, like I said in the comments, she would qualify for HUD housing, Section 8, you name it. And depending on where she lives, $2,500 could absolutely be enough to move. But this is the problem. She asked for that amount. The people who gave her the money didn't say, well, we're going to cap it at 2,500 until we see more. She said that's what it would take for her to move. So again, why are you blaming the kind-hearted person who gave and not the person who asked for it, asked for a specific amount, got it, and then didn't move? And they're like, you don't have to explain yourself anymore. You don't have to tell these people anything. Well, no problem. But in the meantime, she's going to get dragged. So tell her whatever you want to tell her. Make her feel like she didn't do anything wrong. Go ahead and set her up that way. And it won't just be bearded. It just won't be Mexican homie. It just won't be all for one. It'll be me too. And somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else. Little boy Eric, you don't scare anybody. You're full of bluster. You're always talking about what you're going to do. Let me tell you something. People who are really going to do it don't say a word. They just do it. But no, you need to run around here and act like a bully badass and you're going to do this and you hope somebody runs up on you and blah, blah, blah. Why would anybody bother? Let me tell you something, and I've said this before. The government wants their piece, period. So if you're getting money without giving the federal government their piece, whether it takes them a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, they're coming for their money. Look at the actors who have unalived, broke, because they scammed the government in the middle of their career. They don't care when they come. They don't care when they come, but they're coming. And will they take your disability into consideration? Yes, and the fact that they might say, well, you didn't know that you were supposed to do X, Y, and Z. That doesn't absolve you of the financial obligation, however. They may not put you in jail, but they're going to want their money. And then you'll be on here begging for real. I'm not sure if y'all saw this, but there was a young lady. I have her name, but I think it's written down. I don't have it on my phone. But she decided to get on here on TikTok and tell people how to get SNAP benefits by lying. She was like, instead of telling them you have a house, tell them that we're homeless and that you've been looking for jobs, but because of your homelessness, you haven't been able to secure one and you haven't been eating well and blah, blah, blah. She went on and instructed people how to scam the system, specifically the SNAP program. Well, somebody was watching and thought, wait a minute. You are fraudulently using my tax dollars and everybody else in this country that pays taxes. I'm not going to stand for it. So they alerted the food stamp office. Well, within days, she had a phone call from the office and they let her know that they saw and heard her video. They did a little research and found that she was, in fact, lying to them. So they went back to the beginning and she owes the food stamp office $34,000. and they want their money. And then they told her they were going to prosecute her. But I don't think she quite understood what that was going to entail. So she comes back to the live, and or she comes back and does a video saying, wow, guys, like, y'all are such haters. Somebody had to call and turn me in, and now I gotta pay them back $34,000. She's like, where am I gonna get it? Mind you, hair, boho braids all the way down her back, eyelashes done professionally, nails done, living in a nice apartment or house. I'm not sure which one it was. But we're the haters. We're the bad people. Okay. Well, within 15 minutes of doing that video, there was a knock on her door. And it was the local police. They had gotten a referral from the food stamp office that they wanted her prosecuted. They picked her up, took her to jail, gave her a bail amount. She bailed out, and she's now pissed. Nobody told you to come to TikTok and teach people how to scam the system. That's not our fault. Nobody made you do it. You chose to do it. And they want to, and then on the live, she's like, if there's something for free, I want it, whether I qualify or not. She was like, who cares? Food is expensive. Why should I have to pay for food? Excuse me? Like, where she says she admits she did it, she was wrong, but in the exact same breath says she doesn't feel like she should have to pay for food. Make it make sense. Whether you do it for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, the government wants their cut. And they're going to come for it, whether you are disabled or not. So sit there with all that bluster. I would have already gone to jail already, this, that, and the third. Not necessarily, because they investigate and they wait until they build a case. And then they show up. And you leave a digital footprint everywhere you go. They were talking about how she got money for one thing and then went to a concert. Another young lady who was a friend of hers, who was supporting her but was keeping it a buck, was like, you decided to throw a birthday party for you 2 weeks before your birthday. Hey, chill. You must have just came in, but I brought up Mika the goat. Um, she gets her live access back today. Chill, just so you know. But this here is Faith. Why'd you throw yourself a birthday party 2 weeks early, but then invited your friend to go to Florida with you? And the reason why you needed to do your birthday so soon was because you were going to be in a nursing home on your birthday. But then you're inviting her to Florida, and you told her you don't want anybody to know that you're going to be in the nursing home. That's not manipulative behavior. You keep listening to these people in your boxes who support you telling you you're doing nothing wrong. Keep it up, because you are going to face the consequences, not them. What do you mean, how she know that, Ladybug? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. She said she was going to a nursing. Oh, how did she know that? Again, I don't know if it was true or not. But like, I could imagine, like, if her family went away, maybe she'd have to be there. But what she does, it was manipulative. Correct, Tina. Correct. And then the funny thing is, they love to say, they tried to say Mexican homie was doing it for clout. Girl, you clearly don't know him. Thank you for the gifts, guys. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need to talk about you for clout. Neither do I. Chill, I will. I really don't have a lot to say other than she's returned and but yes, I will recap for you. So, you know what I'm like. When you don't give me an opportunity in the box, welcome to the grid. Because I don't need to talk to you in your live to talk about you in mine. So, welcome to the grid. Welcome to the grid. We'll be covering you as well. So, shout out to Mexican Homie. He was live often yesterday. Sorry, here goes the puzzle piece. Come on. Okay. Shout out to Mexican Homie for making us aware of her. Will be watching in the shadows. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up real quick because I know a lot of people were either in his live or hers, and I needed to clear some things up. Now, one other thing I want to clear up. When you get SSDI, there is no limit on gifts. But the gifts they are talking about are like your cousin gave you $1,000 or a friend of yours gave you $1,000. When it comes to TikTok, you get a 1099 and you have to report it. It doesn't mean that you will automatically have to pay taxes on it. You may not, depending on the amount, but you have to inform the government. People on SSI, anything over $20 or anything caring for their, I think it was their housing and food or something, it was housing and something else. Anything over $20 has to be reported because at a certain point they deduct the in-kind gift from the money you get from Social Security, which is why people want to hide it. Y'all know I did a whole thing about it. So I've re-downloaded the pages that said it, and I'm gonna post it in on my page. I don't know whether they are going to. I don't know if anybody on her side will see it, but I'm sure gonna post it. Yes, her name is Faith, and there people were like, "You've already apologized. You've already apologized." This is the two problems with her apology. Just because she apologized to her live doesn't mean that everybody heard it. I'm not saying that every time she gets on live she has to apologize, but stop assuming that everybody heard the apology. Two, if you continue the behavior, what was the point of the apology? Whether she said it once or 3 million times. If she's still going to manipulate, if she's still going to lie, if she's still going to ask people for money and then re gift it to other people while saying she needs it. And apparently she's gifted so much to the Island Boys. For what? Girl, on your best day, they don't want you. And I don't mean that as a criticism, but I'm just speaking a fact. They don't need your money. So why are you doing it? It doesn't make sense. And you know what I say? If it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. Shout out to Judge Judy. Right, and they were saying a level 32 Gifter badge is like you've given out $10,000 in gifts. Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. Faith, we got you. Let's talk Carrie. Now, I said to you guys the other day, are we running a business or a fundraiser? Are we begging or are we selling products? So I didn't put it on here, but she went live on the account Love 1990 with the at Princess Baby BABI 34. So I apologize I didn't add that. I forgot. But it's Love 1990. Yes, I've changed the photo. Please like the live until you feel the heart's tale. If you're wondering why I asked you to do that, there are two reasons. One, people do not like what I'm doing and they will do everything they can to report me to get me taken down. And two, I'm trying to get to the FYP because I'm trying to reach people who either don't know about this side of TikTok to warn them, or for those who are watching them thinking they're about to send money, I want to prevent them from doing so. So I spend my time exposing them for either the lies, the manipulation, the straight begging, the fact that they never get out of the situation, so that even if you give them $1,000, they're going to be in the same exact situation a week or two from now because they never want to get out of it. Some of them, in fact, have become addicted to it. By the way, did anybody see Gigi Wink this morning selling nails like Carrie? Talking about she spent hours working on the nails, and you can't tell me those are acrylic. They look thin in the packaging. I was like, go ahead, Gigi. That's the grift. We doing a carry. Anyway, you have seen FYP videos of girls getting scammed by her so bad she won't make it right. Of course not. If anybody says anything like I didn't get my nails, they get muted and blocked. You saw her chill? Yeah, it was ridiculous this morning. Well, anyway, I'm going to offer you this, Carrie. I'll give you some business advice for $130 a session. The session is 15 minutes long. I bet she did you. I'll give you some business tips for $130 at 15 minutes per session. Hilarious. So she comes on. She doesn't act like a business professional. She comes on and says, my loves, my girls, I really need for you to buy today because I gotta pay for my hotel room. That's not conducting business, that's begging. And I looked to see if there was a business in her name. I didn't find one. You can also do business as with your name. You're not required to create another name. However, you have to file taxes on a quarterly basis to let them know what you got because they want you to pay state and federal taxes. So for everybody sending her your money, you are participating in illegal activity. Forget about the nails being flimsy. But that's why she must think that because there's no real business, that she's doing business as Carrie Walls. that she doesn't have to act like a businesswoman. She can continue to act like a beggar on TikTok, which is what she is. Again, she may send you nails, and I told y'all there was a black woman who went live and was like, I don't know what everybody's talking about. My nails are clearly acrylic, this, that, and the third. I haven't gone back to see if she still enjoyed them 24 hours later. However, is it a beg or is it a business? Is it a business or is it gambling on TikTok? She said yesterday, and what do they call it? A waffle, which is using a wheel to do a raffle. She kept saying to them, y'all don't even have to pay shipping or anything. The whole thing is free to you. And somebody pointed out and said, how is $20 free? How is $20 free? If I gotta give you $20 just to enter the raffle, how is it free? And when she couldn't get any of the nails sold, she goes to this waffle thing. She puts their names written down and I guess gives them an associate number, spins the wheel, and wherever it lands, it lands. But that's gambling on TikTok. You understand? I don't know Stacy, K Stacy. She's been very sickly, but it takes years if she doesn't already have it. Like if she just started based on her recent illnesses, it will take time. I suspect she does. And wait, no raffer wheel involved. Sorry, baby. She claims she won't tell us the amount of the hotel motel price because people will look it up and find her and harass her. For what? Over your nails? You afraid somebody's gonna show up with their raggedy nails and want to know what the problem is? I personally think she doesn't say, because she could give a range. She could give a range. She could say it's between 50 and 150. But I am of the opinion that she doesn't, so that she could collect whatever amount she'd like. And nobody could clock her. Nobody could say, if your motel room is 90 a night, why are you asking for $300 a night? That's the reason why she doesn't want us to know. Why are you always in your car? Why aren't you ever in the room selling stuff to prove to everybody that you are, in fact, in a room? And I'm going to say this again as loud as I possibly can without yelling. If you want my money, I want proof. And I don't want proof after I send it. I want proof before I send it. And I stand on that for everybody. Current supporters, ex supporters, potentially new supporters. Before someone sends you their money, you need to show proof. People who aren't in it for the wrong reasons show proof. Just like Amanda, the Georgia girl, refused to show her refrigerator and cabinets. Red flag for me. So I don't have any clue what your expenses are, but you just want me to send money. And it baffles me that people are like, can I just send you $20? Someone else can get the nails. Until you are able to make enough money to live, it's a hobby. Go get a job in the meantime. It's a hobby. Oh no, anxiety is not an excuse. While look, how many of us have anxiety and go to work every day? Find a profession. Look, work from home. Work from home. So, this is to tell you the real, okay? This is to tell y'all the real. Let's see. Hmm. Sorry. Sorry, I was trying to find the right photo. I have so many. She showed three pairs. I'm only showing two. She showed three pairs and was willing to sell them for $30 a pair. That gives you an indication of how much profit she gets on every nail set that she's willing to sell them for $30. Yes, they do. They actually buy them. People actually buy the $130 pairs as well. But people are getting tired. On top of the fact that you have to pay shipping and handling. And it's funny because I said that the other day that if she just said handling, like she has gas, she has the packaging. Why she say that yesterday? I was like, Carrie, you listening? Or you got a spy in here listening? Melissa, I showed nails that were actually acrylic on TikTok and they were $32. I showed my nails from Shein and Timu that weren't over a dollar, or I'm sorry, not over a dollar. Let's say less than $3, guaranteed, with all of the nonsense on them. And if I wanted more, I could just go buy a bag of charms of some kind and glue them, cure it, and that's it. But the fact that you're willing to sell $30 pairs to three different women tells me A, how desperate you are, and B, how much of a profit it is that strictly based on $30, you could take care of your life. And could you please stop putting stuff on your lips? Can you please use a sticky note so that for everybody who says they want the pair, write it on the sticky note, and then before you're able to mail it out, take the sticky off. I agree with you, Darlene. The whole everybody sending $20, and she needs a minimum of 7 people. That's $120. Ladybug, she absolutely does block people who purchase. She calls everybody a liar. Everybody's a troll. Yeah, yeah, $20 per person, and she needs at least 7. And she'll have other people pay for a random person in there to win the nails. Did you get that $20 from working? If you did, why are you sending it to her? At what point does she need to get a job if the nails aren't making her enough money? And she also wants to be a day ahead in the hotel room. She wants to have a day paid up. Now, do I think that's a bad idea? I don't. But it's very interesting her timing when she comes on. So yesterday she claimed yesterday wasn't paid for, but she didn't come on until later on in the day when we all know checkout is at 11. At least Asia's intellectually honest enough to say that she came on yesterday at 6 a.m. because she needed the money by 11. Thank you for the gifts, guys. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but you know when my spidey senses go off, something isn't right. And we'll see what happened. And just for anybody else who didn't know, and it came as a shock to me, the last home she was living in was her boyfriend's house, who happened to be 65, old enough to date her mama. Okay, Carrie. Sue Smith, a lot of people say that. She claims that she doesn't. I don't know. And let me be clear about something as well. I said it the other day, but I'm going to say it again. She does have a talent. Some of the nails yesterday were adorable. The Betty Boop ones, why she would sell Playboy version, I don't know. But the Betty Boop ones were really nice. There were a couple that were nice. She has a talent. But let the talent speak for itself instead of you getting on TikTok and begging for people to pay for a hotel room. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I forgot one last point. Using somebody else's cash app to apps of cash, I apologize. Using somebody else's apps of cash to conduct business is money laundering. So keep doing what you're doing, boo. Who's next? Let's talk about the racist prejudice Detroit Nike. So after my live on Monday, I watched him. And the reverse psychology rage bait is getting on my nerves. So he starts off with, I know I'm not worthy. I know I'm a bum. I'm lazy. And what? Are you going to do something about it? Are you going to change? By the way, everybody feel the heart's tale and then take a break. Are you going to do something about it? Like, the fact that you can acknowledge it is the first start. But what comes next? So, this particular day, he was begging for the room. Again, does he look like somebody who's outside all night long and all day? Absolutely not. And I know there is a way to take care of yourself because you got to present yourself in a certain way to be in public. But he's not doing any of that. He claims he got rid of all of his clothes, and so he only has a few things in that backpack, but won't open that backpack. Again, the backpack looks almost empty. But you want me to believe you have two pairs of pants, three shirts, underwear, socks in that backpack? Be for real. So he had $3. That's all he had gotten towards the room. And then he decided he was hungry. Fair enough. He goes to a pizza joint that says that they sell slices. Now, I know y'all know this, but I feel like I gotta say it out loud. A pizza joint gets slices by making an entire large pizza, cutting the slices and selling them a slice at a time. They don't make a slice at a time. So he goes in because he says he hasn't listened to this now. Y'all got to pay close attention. He says he didn't sleep for the last 3 days. And if he ate any more than a slice, he would get sleepy and he didn't want to do that. You can't be serious. So he's like, I want a slice. He goes in at 4:02 and they say, we're no longer serving slices. Of course not. The reason why they stopped selling slices at that hour is because it's right before the evening dinner rush. And they don't want to make a bunch of pizzas in the evening to give everybody a slice. So you have to buy an entire pizza for dinner time. Logical to me. Well, he comes out enraged. It's only 4:02 and suddenly they're not making slices? No, because they have to make a whole pizza to make a slice. And it's dinner time. Or like in the realm of dinner time. So, of course, it's because of his skin color. Be for real, Detroit Nike. He was like, they should take the sign down that says that they sell slices. For what? He was like, I can't catch a break. It's always happening to me. Stop whining and get a job. What part? He had an entire apartment paid for and he lost it. Here comes White Sox, y'all. Hello, buddy. Good morning. You could actually sit in my lap today, but I don't know if you will. I got everything set up so you could sit in my lap. Okay? You see right through these people. Oh, Ladybug said hi, White Sox. You gonna say hello back? No, you just want me to rub your head. Everybody's saying good morning. Good morning, buddy. Big baby. So, they did it because of the color of your skin? Mind you, he has a mod that looks like a white woman or a Hispanic woman. I'm not sure. But girl, how can you mod? You mean to tell me you are blocking and muting people that look like you? That always says that they're treating him wrong because of his skin color? And yet, black women. He said we were only good for being a horse for white children and showed a photo of such an instance. And you still mod for him? You still send him money? I don't understand it. Where's the self respect? Where's the sense of community that if you're going to treat one or two of us that way, you will treat all of us that way? So we're going to stand together. All of this for a man that doesn't want you. He has made it clear that he's a gay man. He has shown you the boyfriend he had. I don't know if they're still together, but he has shown you him on more than one occasion. And yet y'all are falling all over each other to be the closest, to be the one he calls out, to be the one that sends their money to. Make it make sense. And he's like, that just pissed me the F off. And I was like, it's not their fault that you waited until 4:02 to go in and ask for a slice. They don't make them after 4 o'clock. Nothing to do with your skin tone whatsoever. And then it's like, haven't you heard of a breakfast menu, a lunch menu, and a dinner menu? Sometimes you can get something on the other menu, but other times it's no. This is until 11:30. This is until 5 o'clock. This is until we close, and it's different. White Sox, be still, please. And he's like, how do you all of a sudden stop making singles? Is he really that dense to think that a single slice is made one at a time? He is used to getting what he wants. And people were like, there's other stuff. What's around you? What's around you? We'll buy you something else. And this is him. I don't want anything else. I want pizza. And people were like, well, then find another pizza spot. Well, they're not going to sell singles. And this was the other thing. I wanted to buy something I could afford. You act like you worked for that $3. You wanted something you could afford. Be for real. So he was like, I wanted to spend the $3 on the pizza so that anything else would go towards the room. Then he said, I feel unworthy of getting a burger or a slice. He hasn't slept in days. And then I wrote down race baiting as usual. Anything to seem like you're being persecuted, that, based on what you look like is the reason why all of these things are happening to you, just for empathy from others. Now, does it happen? Of course it does. Of course it does. Has it ever happened to him? Probably. There are evil people in this world. But you do it so much that I can't even take you seriously. Anyway, I hope he doesn't get the room money because I don't think he's actually outside. And the fact that he had gotten an entire apartment after all of that and then purposely got evicted, because how many times did he say, I'm not going to pay the rent? I'm not paying it. Excuse me? So, no wonder he's back in Detroit. He chose not to pay the rent. And the reason why I think he went through all of that was because in order to stay, There was no way he was getting the rent every month from people. I remember he tried one month to get the 1,400. He got a good amount, but then he drank it away. Line is their second. Girl, line is their first language. Sorry, that's White Sox knocking you all over it. All because I'm trying to move. White Sox, you cannot lay on the notes, buddy. I need the notes. And then, in order for him to stay, the only way for him to stay would have been to get a job. And we know he's not doing that. Excuse me, buddy. We know he's not doing that. Please. Now, yep, White Sox, you woke up and chose violence. Facts. Let's see. Who else do we want to do? Okay, so let's do a correction. Obviously, people misspoke when they thought he went to prison for 2 years. And I apologize that I hadn't vet the information before it came to y'all that he was locked up for 2 years. So, yes, everybody tap, please, till you feel the exhale. Oop, that was my fault. So, when he was arrested back in June, he was arrested for possession of paraphernalia. He was arrested for public intoxication, etc. I believe that there were 6 charges. And when it was time for him to make a decision about whether or not he wanted a bench trial, which means the judge makes the decision, or a trial by jury, he chose to plead guilty because he was given a plea deal to do so. So he didn't face number 1 and I believe number 5. But don't quote me. I believe he pled guilty to 2, 3, 4, and 6. The paperwork is out there if you haven't seen it. And in so doing, he would have faced a I don't know if it was a maximum or a minimum, but he would have faced 2 years. He's still at the point where he could face 2 years. But because of the plea deal, he was given a set of fines and then he was put on probation for 2 years, which is why he can't leave the state because he has to be there. So he was never arrested while he went to court and put in jail for 2 years. Okay. So I was as shocked as everybody when he popped up on Monday. 4,000 vines in 2 years on probation. Okay. Now, just because that analysis wasn't accurate, the fantastical story he tried to tell after it is mind boggling that anybody would believe it. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not saying there wasn't a fire, even though I tried to do my news research and couldn't find a single story about a tent fire happening then. There was a tent fire some years back, and a woman was unalived in the tent, but couldn't find nothing about a tent being on fire in his area. Okay? So, as the story goes, he was in his. Wait, let's go back. He got paid, he put it in the bank, and then he took out $1,000. Now, let's start with the BS there. If he picked up his check on Wednesday and deposited, how does he already have $1,000 from it? Don't they got to run that through the system? And did he used to tell us that it took a couple of days for him to get access to the money and that's what he didn't like? Okay, all that went out the window. He got the money, was laying in his tent, and the same kids who had coffee, hot coffee, walking through the woods and spilled it on his forehead have now taken gas from the gas can that he got for mowing lawns. They picked it up, spread it all over the tent on the outside, laughing and giggling, and set it on fire. Does that even sound plausible to anybody? And of course, he lost everything, including the $1,000. So you may be wondering, what did he have $1,000 for? Well, apparently, I believe it was Facebook Marketplace. He found a camper he could buy for $1,000. Now, people have some natural instincts. When the tent on the outside is on fire, I have very specific things that are placed in very specific places around my home that, in case of an emergency, I can grab it. I have a to go bag. That, in case of an emergency, I can grab it. I have a to go bag. All of my information, birth certificates, passports, um, social security cards, insurance information, information for the cats are all in one folder in my to go bag. I don't have to go searching around my house to find it. You had $1,000 in cash on you, but you didn't take a single thing out? According to him, every single thing he owns was burned in the fire, but he suffered no injuries. Make that make sense. And of course, he's another one. He can't provide any proof at the time. He might come up with something later, but at the time, he claims he was let out of the hospital because he spent 2 days there. How come every time Tim goes to the hospital, he's there for 2 days? Not a single scar. People were like, "Can we see the bracelet?" Oh, I took it off as soon as I left. Now, you've been doing this long enough, Timothy, to know that people are going to ask questions. You don't have a shred of evidence. Oh, and the police officers who came to his rescue bought him a new phone and bought him new sneakers. Help me understand why we should believe that. A new phone? But they didn't help you find a place to stay? They know the resources in the town. They didn't find anywhere for you to go? I'm of the opinion that there's probably some place for him to go, but just like the rest of them, they don't want to be told what to do. Again, he claims the kids who were walking through the woods with hot coffee and thought it would be funny to pour on him were the same kids who burnt his tent down. Now he has an Amazon wish list. It's okay, buddy. He has an Amazon wish list, and you can buy him a new tent from Walmart. Like, he has a Walmart list as well. And now he has a place to keep the tent that will be safe. How many tents is that now? I'm about to call him Steve. Tim? 10? And he tells us that because he took the 1,000 out, he only had $100 left in the bank, and he can't afford to do anything with it. That he needs y'all to buy everything for him. And then everybody's next question is, well, where are you going to have this sent to? And he's like, I'm going to have to get a P.O. box, which is going to cost even more money. So someone suggested that sometimes in like the FedEx store or CVS or Staples, you can have it delivered there and you can go pick it up. Did he do that though? I don't know. Timothy, I'm going to need you to pick a new line of scamming, because it's transparent that you are using and you are just seeking money for that purpose. I'm sorry. You lost $1,000 in the fire. You might have been better off locked up, because then you could have the $1,000 kept safe for you. And of course, people started sending. And there was a nurse in there who worked with people with rug issues. I think that this may be too close to home for her. And because in her daily job, she needs to show empathy for what goes on with these people, that she only sees the good in Tim. She only sees the potential for him to be clean. So that even the most obvious lie on the planet, she's supporting. She's telling other people to be nice and not to be mean to him. Girl, you're new. You don't know all of the vile things that have taken place on this app because of this one individual. And yet, you want us to be nice. I really wish the new people who come around, who don't know jack squiddly dot about their history, stop telling us to be nice, to leave the room. You might learn something if you shut up. But they get on this high and mighty righteous stance, and everybody else who is like show proof. Somehow we're wrong. Again, find me the bank, the credit union, the friend, the mafia, The cartel, find me anyone that will send you money or the product, like you're going to try to go finance a car, etc., where you don't have to show proof that you can afford it. I'm going to need y'all to try again. So he probably got a really good lump sum from that day. I personally haven't heard from him since. I'm waiting for him to come back. Right. All of his surgeries. It went from open heart surgery to some procedures when he couldn't show proof. Again, you're here, you don't like what I do. Do me a favor. For your favorite person, ask them for proof and see if you get it, or see if you don't get thrown off their platform in less than a minute. Yeah, I'm offended. Correct. And somebody asked him, the $1,000 wasn't in your wallet? And I saw him read it, and he was processing it and then chose to ignore the question. Yeah, his leg grew back. Now, let's do Asia. By the way, before I switch, we have to slow down and not be in a rush to share information unless we have vetted it ourselves and we make sure. That's my only advice. Let's slow down. Because the moment we make an honest mistake, and the way that paperwork was written, it was very difficult to determine one way or another what it was saying. It wasn't just spelled out clearly and concisely so we could understand. It was a bunch of legal jargon where this paperwork, it wasn't even written on the line. Like, it was ridiculous. But we have to slow down, because the moment we make a mistake, they use said mistake to either drag us, make us look stupid, and say, see, they lie, they lie, they lie. And because they caught us on the one mistake we made, we're supposed to lose all credibility? Okay, another thing coming. But I will also try to slow down and make sure that the information that I'm going to allow to come up here is vetted, because I hold a responsibility as well. Hmm. I'm sorry. I'm looking for somebody's circle and I don't have it. So I'm going to have to go back. Okay. Now, again, she is wash, rinse, repeat. But I am trying to reach the people who are sending her money. I am desperately trying. So people gave her money so that she could stay in the hotel room every single day. She gets up, and like I said, yes, please tap the screen. And by the way, I don't care about the number at the end. It's not, I'm not like, give me the 200,000 likes. That doesn't matter. It just makes sure that we maintain the live. This live hasn't had a violation in months except for one. And that's when I was talking about Maggie. So when I put Maggie's picture up here, I'm going to need a lot of engagement because she is going to report me for bullying and harassment. Okay, so just be prepared. And for Saturday night too. Asia woke up yesterday at I don't 6:30, 7 o'clock to go live to beg for the hotel room because it's taking longer and longer and it's getting harder and harder. But somebody went in and was like, Digital Deceivers was talking about you today. And she was like, I don't care. And her thought process was that why would I get up worried about her earlier than she got up to worry about herself? Whoever ran and said that, make sure you say today that I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about the people who keep sending her money who aren't going to get a single thing out of it. That's what I'm worried about. Okay? I just wanted to clear that up. I'm not worried about you. So, because she had been up from 6 o'clock and we're at like 10:15 in the morning at this point. Like I said, it was after I went live. She's angry because she doesn't just come on and sit. She comes on, doesn't get enough exposure, drops, comes back on within 10, 15 minutes. The same thing happens over and over and over. And I think at that point she had only gotten, was it $10? So in this particular live, she's like, I've been live for an hour and I've only gotten $10. What is going on? This is weird. I don't understand. Girl, people are tired of you. That's what's wrong. People are tired. And they're sick and tired of taking care of an able bodied young woman. They're over it. So I did learn a piece of information though. When you are fired from Amazon, you are not allowed to reapply for 90 days. Or at least that's what she said. And that rings true to me. So I don't know if she wants to go back to Amazon or not. Or she wants it to be filled with um she wants to throw that out there so that it looks like she's eager to work, but she has no intention. Because Amazon isn't the only place you can fill out an application, my dear. Why don't you fill out an application at the hotel you've been staying in? It gets you out of the house for a couple of hours, and I'm thinking, so wait, so then she's sitting outside with a house coat on, and there were other people outside talking, and they were loud for sure. But she's like, I'm so annoyed. Like, what are they doing? It's too early in the morning for this, etc., etc. Girl, you think people don't get sick and tired of hearing you beg for money? Yes, Iconic, they will. Some of them will hire you enough that you can afford the actual rent. But ask her if she's availed of any of the resources that have been told to her, and she'd be lying if she said yes. White socks. Okay, I'm moving the paperwork. So now we're at 10:41. And she goes right back into, it's weird. It's 55 people in here and you're just watching me. You guys are weird. And I need to go ask for an extension. But she didn't leave the phone. She just continued to beg. Then she tried reverse psychology. She said, God isn't going to bless you. What you are doing is evil. Why are you watching me and judging me? She said, we want to see her outside. So then at one point, and girl, no, I don't. I don't want to see you outside. What I want to see is you taking care of yourself. That's what I want to see. So get it accurate. Now, are there some people who might want you to see outside? Maybe, but you can't put that onus on me just because I don't want to support you financially. So then, as we're getting closer, she takes off the robe so that everybody could see her top. And I don't mean see her top as in her shirt. She did have a shirt on, let me be clear. But why are you taking the robe off? And the moment she realized she wasn't going to get any money, guess what happened? The robe went back on. Please stop feeling so entitled to other people's money. It irks me when they say, I just need 40. So that's where she was. She had gotten 10. One of her friend, well, let me see. She'll say, it's just $40. What do you mean just? If it was just, you'd have it. What do you mean just $40? Let me tell y'all, I actually wrote this down. Your $40 could put gas in your gas tank. It could pay for your coffee, for your expensive coffee for a week. It could pay for a day for your child to be in a summer program. It could pay for a day for your baby to be in daycare. It's enough money to buy snacks for your kids who are going to be home all summer for about a week, etc., etc., etc. Even the richest man in the world can find something to do with $40 besides give it to her. Find something to do with $40 besides give it to her. I didn't stick around. Oh, I missed the part. Then at one point she was like, I'm sick of y'all. Y'all aren't going to see me homeless. If I don't get the money for the room, you guys aren't going to see me because I don't even know where I'm going to put all of this stuff that I got. But I'm not going to let you see me homeless. Again, you have the misconception that we care. We don't. Did anybody see? Did she get the money yesterday? I left. Hey, JSA. You absolutely can post her Reddit for sure. She did get the money. Mm. Well, she'll be live today asking for the same money. Believe it. Oh, and did y'all see? I had no idea that Fei Fei and what is it, Fei Fei and Sheena are siblings. Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to jump up here real quick. I live near where she is. Richmond is huge. It has four different, I guess, sides, if you will, north, south, east, west. The bus, the GRTC system, is free for her to get on until July of 2026, I believe it is. But
Wow.
it's been free since COVID happened. She can hop on the bus. There's plenty of employment throughout the city, whether it be downtown, all the ends, and a lot of dance clubs. I guess is a good
Yeah.
way to put
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
A lot of dance clubs around. There's also a casino that she could work at. A lot of restaurants downtown. I mean, I'm sure you can just imagine. But there's no reason why she can't go and work at a little mom and pop restaurant. There's no reason except for her laziness. Um, and she can call Feed More Food Bank. I tried to put that in her chat yesterday, but of course it's all blocked. There's It's GRTC, Greater Richmond Transit Company.
Wow.
Yep. And it will take you all over the city, even into like Chesterfield, like the outskirts of the city. It goes far. So there's absolutely no reason why she cannot get a job somewhere on the bus line.
Correct.
But yeah, I just wanted to hop up. I know exactly. I don't know exactly where she is, like the hotel, but I know the area.
Mm-hmm.
Very familiar with Richmond.
Right. Well, now she says that she has fibroids because someone said if you have heavy periods, you probably have fibroids. Now, black women are prone to fibroids, but go to the doctor. Girl, you haven't even gotten your ear checked.
Right. And
Go to
and
the doctor.
and if she says she doesn't, she might not get Medicaid, because she's homeless, single with no kids. But VCU, the hospital system, yeah, Richmond, Virginia. The hospital system, VCU, has an indigent care program that all you have to do is go in, fill out the form, and you can get like free to reduced health care. There's also a place called the Daily Planet there that gives out free or reduced health care. There's a couple of clinics there in the area.
Oh, Geneva, I'm not surprised. My question is she's had this ear thing going on forever. Is it being used for sympathy? Is the whole she used her period for why she needed to stay in the room?
Hmm. But yeah, there's a lot of resources there in Richmond.
Hmm.
I mean, tons. All she has to
And
do is
Richmond isn't a little town.
no, no, no. All she
It's a
has to do
city.
is it's a huge city. All she has to do is put in the work for the resources. They're there. But she's lazy. She's
Yeah,
lazy.
100%.
But yeah, I'll jump down. I just wanted to throw out a couple things. There's no reason why there's no reason why she can't work or get resources or anything. Um there's a lot. There's a lot out there.
Correct.
Have
Well,
a good
thank
day,
you.
everybody.
You too. Are you going live today?
I might a little later. I have a few things to do. Have some family
Okay.
stuff going on, but I might later.
Okay.
All
Cool, cool,
right.
cool. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Again, I I hope more people start covering this young lady. This is supposed to be Jennifer. At least that's what she says her name is. My spidey senses are like, they're like screaming and yelling at me. Something's not right. Something's not right. So I found out some more information. Is everybody tapping so you feel the heart's tail? Thank you. She is still coming live multiple times a day asking for money for the rent. Now, these are the things that I found out or that I've gathered from being in her lives. Apparently, according to her, she lives in Dubai and she lives with her mother. She claims that she had a job, which is how she was taking care of her bills prior to this set of circumstances. She never explained why she no longer has said job, but she's home. And she claims that she's unable to pay the rent, so she cannot leave the home. She says she got a letter in the mail, or an email, sorry, that said that if she didn't come up with at least the late fees that have incurred with her past due rent, that she would be evicted. Now, how they wouldn't evict her for the rent, but they would if she doesn't pay the late fees is odd, but she's in another country, according to her, so perhaps that's how it works. She says that they have nowhere to go and that she isn't in a position to do anything about it because neither she nor her mom can leave the apartment. Now, she is also unwilling to say the amount or give any further details. She wants you to DM her to get more details about what's happening. Scam on top of scam on top of scam. What you mean you can't tell us the amount? What's going to stop you from saying, I owe $500 in rent and other stuff? The landlord doesn't care how you get the money as long as you pay him. He's not going to be butthurt that you came and said, I needed a color white. He doesn't care if you run the streets to get it. They want their money. And so you have decided to come to TikTok to get it. You only want to address men. You sit there looking like this or some version of this. You look sad and pathetic and you need these men's help. But in the same breath, you'll say men are so rude. Why can't you and your mama leave the apartment and get a job? Because at least then perhaps you can renegotiate with the complex. But no, you want to sit there and beg men on TikTok and you want people in your DMs. Let me tell you something. That's spooky. There's something not right about it. I haven't put my finger on it other than I know it's a scam. But there is something not right about her behavior, what she's saying, what she's asking for. Something is off. Yeah, she will come on, get off, wait 15 minutes, and come right back on and get off. It's annoying to see how many times in a day she does it. It's all day long. And it's like, guys, very soft. Guys, I really need your help. I could really use anything. Mind you, in all this time, she says she hasn't gotten a dime. And you want me to believe that? I don't even think she owes money for rent. I think it's just a money grab. So please, y'all, other people start watching her. We gotta figure this out. Wait, what? Oh yeah, you can. And my name is the same on Discord. By the way, guys, I fulfilled my promise. Let me explain something to you. It took 3 hours for TikTok to download my Monday morning live. And then it took YouTube. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes to edit it. And I only edited the very beginning with the music and the very end with the music. That's really all I modified. But then it took YouTube an hour or two to put it up. But Monday's live is up, and today's live will be up sometime this afternoon as well. So if you missed any part of it, there's something or somebody you want to hear specifically, you will be able to do so at the during the day or the same day of as the live. I'm making that commitment. Good morning, Carmen. Happy hump day. I haven't said that in so long. But I am proud of myself. We're going to keep that going. Okay. We talked. Okay. Like, okay, guys, hold on. My apologies. I thought I was going to be talking about somebody today, but I'm not. Okay. They will be for Wednesday. Let's talk about it. Now, I'm sure that they got the $90 they needed last night. Somebody said they did. Did they? They got more than that? Really? Okay, when we get to that part, I need somebody to come up and explain why they got more. But on Monday night, he of course had to come back and ask for the 90 for tomorrow. Now, he's another one. You know, when you lay your head down or when you wake up in the morning, that you're going to need the 90 for the next day. Why do you wait until nighttime to request? I have a theory. And my theory is that he spends all day watching us. Because every time he goes live at night, he's talking about us and what we've said or what we've done or who we're covering. He has a lack of self control. To the gym a couple times a week. They're laying around on bed all day. So again on Monday, they were complaining about awareness. They needed 90 for tomorrow and they didn't have any of it. They can get into a cheaper hotel, but not at this time because they're all booked up. And they've already ran out of groceries, which was September. They got them, September. They got them July the 8th. Did it last 2 weeks? Let's see. It lasted 2 weeks. Steve Crick, you reporting me, baby. I didn't wait till the end. Wait a minute. What? Who? Wait a minute. Who threatened me? Yes, they have food stamps. Right. Exactly, Kim. Now I want to say this. Somebody created an account that said that Angie needs the makeup. What do we gain from that? Okay, Erica, enjoy your day. What do we gain by doing that? Because this is my problem with doing it. It may be funny in the moment, but he lumps us all together. So please stop doing that. It's unnecessary. We are smarter, more compassionate, more empathetic, that we don't need to stoop to that level. Now, of course, I can't control anybody else. Of course they were. They may, Unique. They may. Because again, and I want to point this out. I have never, or I shouldn't say never, I haven't heard them ask for gas money. Has anybody else ever heard them ask for gas money? Has anybody else ever heard them ask for gas money? I've never heard them ask for gas money. So how are they driving around town? We already know it's not licensed. I mean, it's not registered and insured. So I've never heard them ask for gas money. So how are you getting around everywhere? Yeah, chill. Because he's in here listening to me. Hello, Timothy. How's Angela this morning? So let me also do a correction. Mexican homie in his live yesterday said that they were asked to leave the first hotel because they were cooking in the room. That is not accurate. He tried to use that last night to say that we don't know what we're talking about. He was asked to leave because the Guardians of Valor wrote the owners a letter letting them know that they had done wrong things, that they had scammed women out of money, that they were using their Wi-Fi to conduct this behavior, which could lead to an investigation, and the hotel doesn't want anything to do with that. So it wasn't because they were cooking in the room. What I suggested was that the Governors of Valor letter was the final straw, that they were cooking in the room, that they had, young lady who was telling the truth about her experiences with them. But that's not the reason. That's not what the letter said. Okay? Now, what's very interesting is that this place has been explicit and told them he can't do it at all. And so now they're going to change their diet. But I thought they were in the diet. And so now they're going to change their diet. But I thought they were in the diet to be healthy to begin with. Anyway, just want to get that out of the way. So again, on Monday, he said he will be working soon. So again, on Monday, he said he will be working soon. He's expecting the phone call this week to come in. The only thing they were waiting for was a background check. And I wrote down my advice, get off TikTok. And the reason why I say that is because he will say up and down he doesn't want to reveal anything about his job. He doesn't want to tell anything about it, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like Tim will struggle without being able to get on TikTok. He's going to struggle to maintain that privacy because he's so busy talking. Why am I getting all of these Oh, it's 9 o'clock, so they're all coming through. Good morning. Then he said something about get ready. They are fishing to crash me. And I guess he was talking about bots coming in. And somehow he thinks we've paid for the bots. I have better use of my money, sir. Why bots don't do it for me? I'm sorry. So then people keep asking to be his mod. Y'all know how I feel about that. I've never in my life understood why somebody begs to be a mod. And of course, his excuse is the reason why he won't mod anybody is because the awareness groups will go after them. Questioning why they are supporting somebody that's taking advantage of people, we absolutely will. Don't worry. Just because you can't, you won't, we will. Oh, thank you. So he's not going to mod anyone else, period. So then somebody came in and they were like, hello, I'm new here. And he was like, that he wanted people to judge him based on what they've watched him do or not do. And then he said, I don't want you to like me or hate me because someone told you to. Listen, I'm lagging. Oh, probably because I'm being reported. Yes, she does. She wants some. Thank you, sweet Sassy. Yes, she does. You guys keep liking the live and engaging because they're not going to stop me. It doesn't phone is matter. Connected and charging. And by the way, make sure you're following my backup because if for some reason we were to get bananas, all we're going to do is go over there. Where's my other phone? Oh, thank you, Lisa J. It's Digital Deceivers Expose. That's the other account. Could somebody type it in the chat for me, please? And pin it. I can't find the other phone. Where is it? This is what happens when you have too many devices. You can't keep track of them. Can somebody pin that? Just in case. But I've never been bananas, believe it or not. No, I'm lying. The first time I went live, I got bananas because I was losing my own mind. Yeah, I did. I'm gonna get to it. We might go past 9:30, but we can't go past 10 o'clock because I got something to do. He said, I don't want you to like me or hate me because someone told you to. Let me be clear. Please don't do anything that you're uncomfortable with because I've said it. And don't do it for anybody else. Make your own mind up. But Tim, we don't want anyone to hate you. So thank you for the follow. We don't want anybody to hate you. That again, Faith was asking what's the end game. The end game is for you to stop asking people for money on the internet. You keep throwing out that you're getting ready to get a job, but that still means that someone has to take care of you for the next 2 weeks to 3 weeks before you get your first paycheck. So you can keep pumping out that you have a job prospect and it looks good and all they need is your background check and there's nothing in your background. You're going to still need that $90 to $100 every single night until you get your first check. Just like Timothy Nash. Just like the rest of them. Just because you get the job doesn't mean that you aren't going to still have to beg. The job doesn't mean that you aren't going to still have to beg. So please stop it. But we don't want anybody to stop it. But we don't want anybody to hate you. Stop spinning that narrative. You know, he did my red flag. Anything will help. My thing is this. You're not asking for help. You're asking to be taken care of. Two grown adults are asking to be taken care of. You're no longer asking for help. Help has a limit. Help is occasionally. Help is you got into a really bad situation. We're going to help you through it, and you're going to find you're climbing out of the valley yourself. So your valley is low, deep, dark, dank, with no movement. You're not asking for help. You're asking to be taken care of. There's a big difference. Mind you, he knew the heat index for the next day because he needed to beg for the next day's money. Oh, the heat index is going to be this, and that's not good for her epilepsy. But when some last night, and I'm going to need somebody to finish this for me, so if anybody doesn't mind getting in the box, I would appreciate it. So last night he comes on, and the first thing he says is, I know you're sick of seeing my face. No, we're sick of hearing you beg. My question is, you have a job prospect. Does Angela have a job prospect? Or is she going to continue to sit home and expect people to take care of her? Because if you think that him getting a job means that she's going to stop begging for the things she wants, you have another thing coming. So, yes, we are sick of seeing you come and beg. And then they did this whole game of he's not Steve Crick, because Steve Crick was commenting while he was live. Sir, your wife was laying right next to you with the phone. She could have been logged into the Steve Crick account and wrote in it. You proved absolutely nothing. And then he started showing his phone, another phone. Don't know whose it was, but he started showing another phone to prove, like, look, here's Steve Crick's messages. I didn't see, the screen was blank. I didn't see a single thing on the screen. See, this is Steve Crick's messages. A blank screen, sir. You showed absolutely nothing. You didn't prove a single thing. You didn't prove a single thing. TikTok sells what? Next day background check. You could probably get a background check from Shein and Temu too. Stellar. Check from Shein and Temu too. Stellar. Wow. Now again, I do not agree with makeup. I don't believe in that, so I don't condone it. I'm not even makeup. I don't believe in that, so I don't condone it. I'm not even going to laugh at it because it derails the conversation. It derails our it derails our credibility. Because then it gives the people in the chat the excuse to be mad at everybody on our side. It encourages people to give money so that while you think you're being funny, you are defeating the purpose. Because now people want to give money to combat what you have said and done. How do you think you're helping? If you think you're helping. All the time. And so what it made me think of was, remember when Gabby got caught using their troll account and then tried to say it was Aaron's, and that Aaron was going to be so mad that she didn't realize she was live on that account. She messed up and exposed herself. That's what happened. So if you want to tell me that that blank screen means that you're not Steve Crick, you're not Steve Crick. Thank you, Grinch Mob. Somebody pin Grinch Mob's comment just in case people didn't see it. So Steve, other people who take advantage of people on this app have also tried the same thing. It's not going to work. Why are we your only content to get to the $90? Huh, Steve? I mean, Tim. How come? So that's where I ended it because Mr. went live. Can anybody tell me how the rest of the evening went? Because it sounds like they got the hotel plus some, and I don't know what the plus some is for. Anybody willing to come up, please? Because I couldn't even find it recorded on YouTube yet.
Hey,
Hey,
it might
say to the
it might help
rescue.
the lag a little bit too with me being in the box. So last night
Hold
he
on. Is
okay.
Steve here? Oh, welcome in. You want to get in the box? I know you don't. Go ahead, JSA.
Last night he did end up getting the $90 from the room. Then somebody came in. It was actually the person that paid the week in the last hotel. The gentleman that went in and
Oh, uh-huh.
was asking how much the week is there. So he got on the phone and called the front desk. Of course, not on speakerphone or anything. And he
Right.
came back, and I can't remember the exact, but I think it was like 587 or like $500, something like that. Um, so he came back, he said the amount, and then Renee, I believe her name was, I have the screenshot in my phone, said to the gentleman, I'll split it with you. Now, I don't know if the gentleman paid, like sent money. I know Renee did. We don't know how much she sent. A lot of people are saying probably about a week's worth. He didn't say, like, thank you for the 200. Thank you. Now we have enough for 3 days. At least that I did not hear. I didn't hear him say that. So he did get the $90 plus some. I know he was begging for food. He said all he has is a loaf of bread, nothing to go between it, and a whole bunch of ramen. And that was, I guess, from the Walmart order that was placed the other day.
But
So
just
he's
ramen isn't good enough.
right. Ramen's not good enough. Bread and butter, bread by itself. Like you make do with what you have. Period. But no, it's never enough for him. But that was what happened. So no, I don't know the exact amount he got. I didn't hear it said. I don't know if it's out there on a recording somewhere, but
Does anybody have the name of the person that paid the week? Does anybody
the
have
in
that
the
app?
in the old hotel, I do. Yes,
Please send it to me
I will.
because I would like him to know that Tim dragged him for filth one day because he didn't respond to Tim's message.
Yeah.
And Tim came on even after he paid for the week and
Hmm.
said he he's ignoring me. He's
Right.
not helping me. I don't know what the problem is. Excuse me?
Yep.
Where is the thankfulness?
Yep, he kept saying he ghosted him. But the funny thing is, I saw that gentleman go in that live almost every day since he, gave him the money. So,
Right.
it was just very weird. And then he popped back up yesterday and he said, what's the plan? Are you going to be asking for money? What's the week? It just, you know,
Yeah, I don't believe.
yeah. Yeah, and they did when they left the old room. They did have groceries that he said went. I guess Angela took them to the family member's house. So but we know he can't cook in the room. So
Right.
yeah, who knows? Bologna and cheese. Tim put it in between a couple slices of bread. You do what you got to do. Ramen. You like ramen with tuna and crab meat and all that.
Um, get an adapter and cook in the car.
Hmm. Exactly. But
Get the
yeah,
adapter and cook in the car.
yeah, that's what I know about the money last night. You know, he didn't say, "Well, we have enough for 2, 3 days. You know, we're good for a week." Even if they got the money for the week, we were saying, you know, he probably won't pay the week. He'll probably pay a few days. You know, spend the rest because they did come back with like new shirts. She had the new watch on her hand.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, she got the money for the watch back.
yeah,
Again, she broke it in y'all's face because they have no self control. And your response to that isn't to hold her accountable as a grown woman and say, listen, even when you're mad, you have to maintain your control. Instead
mhm,
of making her do that, y'all turned around and bought her another one. So what lesson has she learned?
exactly.
Hold on, Carmen. Carmen, one sec. I saw it, y'all. I saw it. Give me a minute. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yep, it's a little low, so
Oh, hold on one second. I'm going to turn off my Bluetooth. Hold on one sec. Okay, how about now?
much better. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I just want to be the snitch this morning. Her name was April Renea, who sent them extra money last night.
Okay.
Because not the one, we were all in his live, and we literally shared the live out to her like massive times, and to Raggedy T because he played her video where she knows Tim and Angela personally, and he wanted to talk to her about them as well. But the lady's name is April Renea.
Okay. Sent the extra money.
So they got well over probably a couple of nights a room um yesterday.
Right. But my thing is this again, if it was sent to you to pay for the room for a week, that's what you do. You can always come back and beg for food because we know you don't care about begging. But why wouldn't you make sure? Because guess what? Paying for it a couple of days is more expensive than paying for the week. So why wouldn't they pay for the week?
So I called the Motel 6 that they're at there in that town, and so did he. And it's $582 for the entire week for 7 days. 7 days. 582.
Okay.
And it's $90 a night. That's with taxes and everything. So
Yeah.
it's much cheaper to take and do a 7 day stay for $582. The Emerald Inn that they were just at, that was only $350 a week for 7 days. The one that they just got kicked out of.
Yeah. Oh, I know that that one is cheaper. You should
So,
have made sure
anyways,
for
I,
yourself.
I,
Right.
I have to run into the pharmacy because my son had all of his wisdom teeth removed yesterday. So I have to come and pick up his meds this morning. So I just wanted to come up and be the little snitch tattletale this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Have a
Don't,
good
by the
day.
way, do me a favor and I don't like doxing. So even though people may know where they are, I don't want to contribute to anybody calling, getting involved. So just do me that favor. When you come up here, don't say where they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's in not the one. It's like I mean, if it, I'm sure that's recorded. It's out there
Oh, I'm
everywhere.
sure. I'm sure. I just don't like to
Okay.
participate in it.
I
But I appreciate you.
apologize.
No problem.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Good morning, Kels.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to talk about this guy. He got scammed not last night, but the night before, and he realized that he was in the group that I'm in with Bagger and them. And luckily, it was only $20, and we all gave him a follow. And he was like, "Oh my goodness, I wish I had known." But luckily, it was only $20, and so he was in the he got to watch, last night when they were on there, and got to watch everything. So hopefully, with him being scammed, I mean that's awful to say, but hopefully more people start being more aware of the awareness that they're doing, like begging every day. I mean, you can't get a job if you're just going to go from the bed to the chair to the bed to the chair. Like, you actually have to physically, move and get out of bed and, like, get dressed for the day and, open up your door at least. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and well, she's always laying in bed. I got blocked weeks ago because I said, um, what is she crying for? Is she missing the McDonald's? And he called me a dumb A and blocked me immediately. So, but yeah, and you know how I feel about this with my daughter fighting cancer. So I've been
Right.
really really. I mean, this is the more people I see, it's like another day, another bagger, and these people. I'm just baffled by these people that literally use cancer to for their money grab. It's like, there's a cold place in where for them, and they'll answer to that man someday. But
Absolutely.
just hopefully people start being more aware. I see Becky's back. It's like, here we go again. You know what I mean? Same circle, same
Yep.
song, same day. But um, I just like, and then the Maggie situation. If people are really that dumb to not see what's going on behind the scenes, like, she's probably trying to have a lawsuit. That's why the ribs and the thing. Like, I mean, come on. You don't have to put two and two together to make four. Like, you should already know that that's four. But I just hope, like, eventually, things like every day, it's like, I've not seen that one. I haven't seen that one. But with that guy being scammed, like I said, it's awful to say because luckily it was only $20 and not, a lot of money or whatever. But hopefully people will be more awareness of these people that are doing that, daily, because they have no ambition to work. And I get blocked mainly when I go in their lives because I do mention All for One and resources. Like the Collins, they live in Kentucky where where I am. So I don't think they were. I think he lied about his location. Like, he wasn't given his location, but I was pretty sure he was only like an hour or so away from me. And I mentioned like all the things that, I know of in Kentucky that are, I'm a dumb A and I got blocked. So that's been the ongoing thing. But just hopefully, these people know that this is just not okay. Like the 10th story, the one guy, I forgot his name, like, he has a GoFundMe for cancer and said he lost his leg and your leg's still there. I mean, like, come on. I mean, I don't know if these people read from a script to keep up with their lives. I've also got blocked for that, but I just keep it real and honest. And the more that my daughter is battling cancer, going to work every day, these people are pissing me off more and more. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really
Of
not gonna
course.
lie.
Of course. And then
And she has had some really bad days going to work. Like, if she has a really, really bad day, like, she gets tired a lot. And, like I said, the neuropathy or whatever, where she's, her joints get really bad in her hands and she's like in a lot of pain. She'll work from home, but still she's working. Like, that's what makes me so mad about these people. It's like, if my daughter can battle a breast cancer, have a mastectomy, still have cancer in her body, and still work because she's a single mom and she wants something out of life. Like, she's wanted to give up. I'm not gonna lie, about 3 or 4 times, and I've like told her, like, that's not an option. You're now 32 years old. That's not an option. So if my daughter can do it, I don't want to hear anybody's excuse. I don't care what it is, unless they're on their deathbed or, like, I mean, an illness to where they are completely disabled. There's no excuse, period. So that's all I have to say, and I do not know how to get down from here.
Okay, I will help you. No problem. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate.
You're welcome.
So, I believe we have 2 people left. Now, I'm going to try to get through everybody. Let's start with Beth. Now, the reason why I'm talking about Beth, I've been watching her here and there, but Beth did a video that I watched, and I had some commentary about it. So, she wants to be the victim, as usual. We know eventually it'll be the next money grab. So she does a video, and she's making an announcement about how she's going to behave going forward. So she said that she's going to focus on the love of herself, that she loves her dogs. And my question is, what happened? Wait, I'm sorry. Started in the wrong place. She said it's going to be a long video, so be prepared. I'm sorry. One moment. I knew this was going to happen. White Sox, please. That's weird. Okay. White Sox, you cannot lay on the paperwork. Here, just slide this way. Okay. So, she said for 5 years she's been forced by lies, twisted her name, made false claims, and tear down everything she has built. You built? Or you mean the people in your comment section who have sent you money over and over and over again? They built the life you have, not you. So why don't we be honest about that? Without them, what would you have today? Then she said she has been called a rug addict. Do you not do dabs every day? Do you not ask people for money for dabs? You want us to believe that you're not addicted to it? Okay. That she abuses her dogs. My question is, what veterinarian or dog manual or dog trainer would recommend that 8 dogs live in a tiny trailer in cages most of the day and don't go outside? Can somebody point me in the direction of a veterinarian or a dog trainer that would say that that was okay? It is not the dog's choice that they don't want to go outside. We know the truth, Beth. The truth is you don't want to take them outside for any length of time because you know good and well that you having 8 dogs in that little trailer would trigger an investigation. You want those dogs inside, not the dogs. Not the dogs. And because of that, I can only imagine the smell emanating from that trailer. 8 dogs cooped up every day in this heat, and they don't get to go outside? So what are they doing? Using puppy pads all over your place? It doesn't make sense. Okay. But the smell gave you away. If you truly love those dogs, then instead of constantly needing to uproot your life, rehome them. That way you can guarantee that the home they move into is one of love, one that you approve of. But no, you would rather keep 8, even though it is not allowed where you are. Even in the mountains, it's not allowed. Why wouldn't you just give them away? Or I shouldn't say that. Rehome them to loving families. You say that they're support animals. Let them support somebody else. Why do you and your man need 8 dogs for emotional support? 1 each will do. And if you want 2 more as backups, fine. You don't need 8 for emotional support. If that's what they truly give, if that is their gift, give them to a child that needs one. Give it to a disabled person that needs one, that needs the companionship. But you don't actually want to be responsible. Because you want to be able to be a victim. If the law says you can only have 4 or 6, follow the law. Why is it that her people feel like she should be above the law? Period. And by the way, that school loan, the clock is ticking. If in fact you are on probation, as your man said you were, because you couldn't pass your classes, the clock is ticking on that money. And for future reference, when you are on SSI, before you get on SSI, if you have student loans and you become disabled, whether it's SSI, SSDI, you can have your loans written off. If you get a school loan post getting Social Security, you have to pay it. So I hope no one told you, oh, just go to school and you can get the loans wiped away. No, you can't. And you love your dog so much. How did one of your dogs get ripped to shreds? Huh? Huh? But you love them. Okay. Then she says they went real life. Now, I don't believe in going real life. I don't believe in doxing. I don't believe in teasing somebody about their looks. I don't believe in any of that. And you're upset about them doing it to you. But Beth, my question is, when you got mad at me, you called somebody's name specifically and asked them to find me. You said, I want to know who she is, what's her name, where she lives, where she works, and who she's fucking. And who I'm fucking. By the way, you can find him. He's on TikTok. His name is PlayAction7. But you're mad that they went real life on you? Mind you, I have never gone real life on her. I haven't done any investigation. I haven't tried to find out where she is, where she works, what trailer park she's in. I haven't called animal control. I haven't gone real life. But that's the first thing you did to me. Correct. The old landlord showed how terrible that house was and showed where that dog was being locked in that room by themselves because you could see they were trying to get out, the scratches on the door. And that's the room, I believe, that one of the dogs was ripped apart in. But you wanted to go real life on me. What were you going to do with that information, Beth? And you wanted everybody to know that you wanted it because you did it on a live. So clearly you don't mind going real life. You claim that you show the truth on this platform and other platforms. And I say you show the truth you want your supporters to see and to pay for. But even though you are trying to curate what you show, you still show enough that we see how deplorable you are as a human being. And then she says, this is where she draws the line. I will not respond to the lies. I will not show proof of things I have already shown time and again. That she's going to be focused on her healing of her family, her love, and her dogs, and the new chapter they are starting. If you are here for the hate, I am no longer going to respond to you. And I say, I give it about a week. I give it about a week. And she will be right back to screaming, hooping, and hollering. You know why? Because that's how she gets paid. Good morning. That's how she gets paid. She needs an us versus them to maintain this lifestyle. Period. And of course, she will be back. This whole, we're going to do a reset. But you want to make sure that you have a generator. What do you need a generator for? A big one. Okay. And I'm sorry, but your definition of hate is someone disagreeing with you, someone having a problem with you having more dogs and the treatment of those dogs, and you constantly needing to beg for everything every day, from the basics to expensive, excessive items. That is your definition of hate. And I'm sorry, that is not the definition of hate. But you need it to be hate so that you can run to your people and say, look at what they're doing to me. I need money. That's not the definition of hate. Telling the truth about somebody may be inconvenient. It may be uncomfortable. But it's not hate. And so then she said, now we're going back to regular scheduled programming. You been listening to me, Beth? Because that's what I say all the time. But we'll see how long we stay in regular scheduled programming. Because I promise, you're going to rage out because you need to. Rachel, her wife, is actually Jada. Wow. Wow. I did her already. So, I'm going to be brief on Maggie. I just want to show you how ridiculous it is. Maggie got up yesterday morning asking for, I think it was like $948, something like that, which would be almost the equivalent to her Social Security check. Did you blow your Social Security check, Maggie? And now you want the people in your life to give it back to you? Oh, $983. There you go. Thank you. That's almost the equivalent to a Social Security check. Does anybody know why she was asking for it? Because now she's gotten some timey about explaining what she wants it for. Send in, boo. No, Oprah. No, she didn't get it. So then she came back and wanted $40 for groceries. Where your food stamps at, boo? Oh, it was 40 for lunch. I don't know if she got the money for her food. Because like I said, I had to kind of go off and mod for my boo. So I had to leave all of these things alone. But you literally have the audacity to sit on this app and ask for almost $1,000. And then, like a light switch, oh, nope, now I need 40. And did y'all see the other night while she was eating the pickle meal? It was like a pickle drink, pickle fries, pickled this, a pickle sandwich. And then she took all the pickles off the sandwich. Somebody make sense of that to me. And y'all paid for that. Without a single care in the world. All she has to do is say send in 3 million times a night. And she ends up getting the money. It makes absolute... Oh, Courtney Moon, is there something you'd like to say, my dear? Because I do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6:30 a.m. to around 9:30 a.m. 9 hours a week I dedicate. My audience is disrespectful in what way? Would you like to get a box? You are welcome to a box. You are welcome to a box. And you could say exactly how you feel. Oh, she was mad about my comments about Beth. What did I say wrong? That's all I'm asking. You can be a supporter of hers if you want. What part of what I said was wrong? No, she could defend her. I just want her to answer me what part of what I said. Oh, you can hear my cat purring? Yeah, I'm rubbing his leg. What part of what I said? I sound ghetto? Courtney, I promise you that I absolutely could sound ghetto, but not in this moment. Again, you are name calling, which means you don't have the intellectual capacity to debate me on any of the facts. I'm asking you to please tell me what I said that was wrong. Calling me ghetto doesn't bother me. Not in the least. Because what's funny is, I'm not like Beth. If I know that something isn't true, it doesn't bother me. I don't crash out. And certainly not one person coming here and having a couple of things to say isn't going to change anything about me. I am comfortable in my skin. Y'all know what I'm about to say. If you don't feed me, fund me, or fuck me, your opinion of me does not matter. So, again, I'm going to ask you one more time. What did I say that wasn't accurate? And I do get that you calling me ghetto has a racial overtone because you know I'm a black woman. But I am far from ghetto. Now, don't worry. I could go to the gutter with you. Believe me. But for what? But for what? What would anybody in this room gain from me being ghetto? Clearly, Karen, clearly. Because unless you're willing to jump in a box, and you don't got to turn your camera on, I don't care about that. But unless you are willing to jump in a box and defend her actions, tell me what I said that was wrong, you have no standing here. But thank you for coming in and adding to the numbers and the engagement. I appreciate it. Now, if you keep going and disrespecting my chat, you will be muted. She better be done windmilling. Somebody needed to tell me sooner. Because you know I don't tolerate that around here. Please remember, when someone's getting out of control, pin their comment and let me address it. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah. Again, when you don't have the intellectual capacity to debate me, shut up. That's all. Shut up. Thank you, thank you. Hi, honey bun. Thank you for coming in, baby. And you're not getting a box. So back to Maggie. Again, we are doing a digital after dark. Wait, let me find it so Courtney could see, so Courtney could let everybody know. Courtney, guess what? Guess what's happening on Saturday? Let me find it. Now it's going to take me an hour to find it. Goodness gracious. There we go. Courtney, make sure you run back and let everybody know that I'm going to do a live on Saturday. It's going to be a 50-50 live. 50 about Maggie and 50 about Beth. And the goal is to allow people to sound off on the things that they know. Now, it needs to be truth-based. But I want people who have been watching you for a long time, who know the ins and outs of the nonsense, to come up here and say what it is they have to say. Now, I'm not going to allow any disrespect. I'm not going to allow any teasing. I'm not going to allow any name calling, because I don't do that. That to me is unnecessary. You do enough on this app, which is all I need. I don't need to go real life. What you do on this internet tells me everything I need to know about you. So everybody's invited. You can invite Maggie and her mods. You can invite Beth and her mods. They are willing and able. They can even have a box. And I will shut the comments off, and it will be an intellectual debate between me and them solely. Honey, are you still here? Can you say hello so somebody can see your name? It's Play Action. I think it's Play Action _7, or just Play Action with the number 7. I think he left. I got a heart me and he was out. But yeah, just look up Play Action 7. And you'll know you hit the right page when you see everything about the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Hurricanes. Maggie is mean. She's mean, she's rude, she's disrespectful, even to people who have given her money in the past. She doesn't care about anything you've done for her previously. If you're not sending it now, you are no longer Team Maggie. Thank you, Disturbed One. You are no longer Team Maggie. But she'll allow Team Maggie to beg on her page. Ain't that nothing? So you want your people to send somebody else money, but don't forget to send in for me. So please, y'all, put it on your calendar. This will be a sound off session for the people who come here and hear me every day talk about these people. It's time for people to sound off. It's great that we have the numbers of people who are willing to get up and talk. But people need to see just how much of a community we are. People need to see that that the hills have eyes. And we're watching. Oh, thank you. And we're watching. We don't need to go real life. We watch what you do on this app and find it deplorable. That's it. That's all. So please, y'all, don't fail me. Or else we're going to be sitting here listening to music. Because I'm not doing all of the talking. I will have already done 9 hours by the time we get to Saturday night. I need help this time. The TikTok walls be watching facts. We see it all. It's not just my opinion. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Jazzy. Jazzy, do you have enough to take a box?
I know everybody's happy to see you, Fallon.
Everybody's awesome. Good morning, you guys. Jazzy, you've been in here since 6:03 a.m. Central Standard Time, but you haven't said a word. But now you want to get all excited. So I'm excited. Come up and talk to us. I've got questions.
Who is Jazzy?
Jazzy is a moderator for Kiki and all of the rug use and child abuse and all of the above, all of the self-centered treatment, because it's all about Kiki. But then she wants to come over here and kick it in the awareness community and kick dirt in our faces because the rest of these loyal people here in your chat and window licking know what it's like to put the work in. But Jazzy wants to be sure to tell Kiki that, no, I'm a good follower of yours. I'm a good supporter. But then she reposts stuff about Rissa the scammer, awareness pages doing good stuff. Whoops. Sorry, I'm breaking up. Then she posts stuff about Rissa the scammer's page on awareness on Rissa and on Nick, but then wants to repost Kiki's videos saying, I'm being mistreated, people are being mean to me, and helping her get money. July 6th, she became a moderator for Kiki. Now,
What?
Jazzy, you've been around a long time knowing that Kiki and what she does. So,
Oh, wait, you put out a video.
I did put out a video. I may need to pin it so it stays a little longer. Where'd you go, Jazzy?
Did she leave? Because we like to talk. Because, anybody is welcome to watch me, but do not play with me. What I do really? If you're modding for a known scammer on this app, you don't understand the conflict of interest?
She changed her name, or she either has 2 accounts now, Manders. One is twin moms of 2, and the S is a Z. And I wish she's Kiki, the one who does most of the awareness on Kiki, is around, but I didn't get to message her in time.
You said that, because it's a conflict of interest. Do not act like you're a part of a community that you then turn your back on and become a mod to somebody else and help her get money out of people. Because guess what? You're over here watching me, but if I went in Kiki's live and asked the question, you'd mute and block me if she told you to. That's the conflict. Or are you here just to hear what I have to say so that you can go run back and tell other people?
Jesse, what would you
Welcome to a
do
box.
if people were supporting the rug addictions of your family members? Because that's what you're doing. Whenever you support Peaches and you repost her videos, thank you for Burger King, and you repost and you gift Carol Edwards, that's what you're supporting. Rug addiction. People who could possibly get something bad off the street by the amount of assist that you do to get people to give them money.
That's banana. But you want to be in here from 6:03. Like, come on.
And she's consistently in here, Dee Dee. It's not just a fluke. She's consistently in here, mostly on Wednesdays, but she's been in here every once in a while on a Monday. But Jesse, I don't understand why you don't take a box. I mean, and then you had the audacity on Friday of last week to say, but I report all the time and I don't get anything back. What are you
Oh,
reporting? Are you
yes.
reporting
I
us?
remember that.
Yep.
I never speak of no one or Jazzy, this isn't about you bothering anybody. You are missing the point. So let me make it clear for you again. You sit here and apparently support what I'm doing. You support my platform. But then you turn right around and support somebody and mod for somebody who scams people out of money. So explain how you can do both and there be no conflict. Because this is not about you bothering somebody. This isn't about you sitting here being a silent watcher. You said the other day that you report. Have you reported Kiki? Because she has absolutely scammed people out of money on this app and regularly has her payment apps in there while she holds her children and tells people about what she needs. Thank you,
Thanks.
Joey. I appreciate it. But don't try to change the subject and make it about you bothering somebody. Because that's not what we're talking about. I don't like flip-floppers. I don't like people who pretend to be a part of the community just to be nosy and then goes over there and supports scammers. And again, why do y'all use the same account to do both? Like, I just smacked my own forehead. Like, get it together.
I mean, at some point, that's all we can do because it makes no sense. I don't understand why people support people who are struggling with addiction. You clearly know that they are lying. You clearly know, and you can see that Kiki abuses her children. Why support that? There's
Yeah.
videos out there everywhere, and you know you've been around so long that you probably reposted them at some point. I just got tired of going through your account and scanning through all the bullshit on it.
Jody, I
You don't know much
listen.
about Kiki? Jazzy, you're going to make me make another video just to prove you are now a liar. Because, see, you were just a flip-flop enabler earlier that supports rug addicts. But now you want to lie about it?
Jazzy, nobody asked you to leave. But you leaving here says to me you'd rather be there. So if that's where you would rather be, no problem. The door is open. both ways. You can come in and you can leave. Because I only want people here who support what we're doing. Unless you're willing to get in the box and have a conversation, because that's the other part I don't understand. If you are comfortable with what you are doing, you can take a box and say I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and stand 10 toes down with your whole chest.
Mm, mm, mm.
But we all know, like somebody said, Fallon is going to see it, or somebody else in the community is going to see it. You cannot get away with being a flip flopper. And this is what's crazy. The other day, there was a gentleman who we suspected of flip flopping because of the things he would say in the chat. He worked his butt off to get a box because he wasn't sure how. He took a box. He said he thought he was doing the right thing and he was sorry, and now he understands. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He didn't stay in the comments going back and forth. He stood on what he did, but recognized how harmful it could be and said it would never happen again. Over and done with, right? We haven't said anything else to him about it. He hasn't said anything else, and he hasn't done it. So the fact that you want to run says a lot about your character. Joey, listen. It's a sad state of affairs. But okay. We'll see you next Wednesday, I guess. But you're not going to get away with flip-flopping. Not around here. And certainly not around Fallon.
There's eyes everywhere, Jazzy. These people in this chat are good, loyal people. You coming in here and trying to kick it with them is kicking dirt in their faces. It's not right. You trying to harm people who are struggling with rug addiction, that's not right. They could get something bad off the street. Every life matters. And you trying to jeopardize that by potentially getting them some type of money is just a bad situation all around.
Absolutely.
I'm going to drop back down. Thank you for a box and a privilege of your time. I appreciate all you guys.
Thank you, thank you. Well, there we go. Y'all know when Fallon comes in a box to get your popcorn. I don't care if that's the morning, the middle of the day, or midnight. She doesn't do flip-floppers, and neither do I. But anyway, I appreciate all of you for coming and spending your time with me. Mods, thank you for sticking around later. You know, I try to make sure that you guys have lives too. But this one had to go over for a reason. Remember the date. It is Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I did this so that people who couldn't get up would have an opportunity to come in and see a live show. So support it. And if you have information, if you know about a time or a circumstance with Beth and Maggie, please have the confidence to come in the box and share it. It's important. It's important that the entire community realize that it's not 5, 6, 10, 20 people. We are a huge community that want to see this stop. So please, if you have to write it down, write it down. But I want to see person after person after person coming up and sharing their thoughts and feelings. And then guess what? We our collective voices will sound like a bomb dropping. So I appreciate you all. Please have a fantastic Wednesday. You know what I say, hug your loved ones because tomorrow is not promised. Please spend 15 minutes a day on self-care. If you can't do 15, do 10. If you can't do 10, do 5. And if you can't do 5, do 1. Even if it is locking yourself in the bathroom with the lights off. It's important. You can't be there for anybody else if you are not whole yourself. So I appreciate you. Love you guys. You are the motivation for why I get up every day and do this. If I do not see you in the streets, I will see you Friday morning at 6:30 a.m. And please, yes, DK, it's incredibly important. Please put me on your calendar for Saturday night, even if you can't stay the entire time. I appreciate you all. Oh, by the way, I posted the letter. Oh, by the way, I posted the letter too. So this live will be up by this afternoon. Thank you, thank you. Everybody have a great day. Yeah, but I'm gonna do a Friday live. Especially if I don't intend on doing all the talking. I should be okay. Thank you. It's a date. I appreciate it. I am going to unplug for a little bit. Get a nap before me and Mr. do our thing. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm out.